I am Shivaji Bhosle, the son of Maharashtra and the founder of the Maratha Empire. My story is not merely one of battles fought or victories achieved. It is the tale of a life devoted to my people, my culture, and the dream of a free and sovereign homeland. Let me take you through my journey, as I lived it, step by step, detail by detail, from my humble beginnings to the pinnacle of my vision, and the legacy I left behind. I was born in the year 1630, amid the rugged hills and fertile plains of the Deccan, in the hill fort of Shivneri. The cries of battle were the lullabies of my infancy, and the call of destiny was the first sound that stirred my soul. My father, Shahaji Raje Bhosle, was a Jagirdar and a warrior serving the Deccan sultanates. My mother, Jijabai, was a woman of exceptional wisdom, devotion, and strength. It is from her that I inherited my ideals of justice, courage, and devotion to the cause of Swarajya, self-rule. Jijabai shaped my earliest thoughts. She told me tales of the Ramayana and Mahabharata, of righteous kings and valiant warriors. I often sat by her side, listening as she described the greatness of our culture and the injustices that had befallen it under foreign rule. It was she who sowed the seeds of a vision that would become my life's mission. From my earliest years, I was trained for leadership. I learned the art of swordsmanship, archery, and horse riding, but I also studied governance, strategy, and diplomacy. My days were spent mastering the rugged terrain of the Sahyadri Hills, my nights contemplating the responsibilities that lay ahead. By the time I was 16, I had begun to forge a path that would alter the destiny of my people. While my father served the Adil Shahi Sultanate in Bijapur, I began to consolidate power in the Pune region. With the blessings of my mother and the support of my loyal Mavalas, the brave mountain folk, I captured Torna Fort. It was a bold move, for it sent a clear message to the Sultanate. A new force was rising in the Deccan. The wealth of Torna allowed me to construct Rajgad, a fort that would become the nerve center of my fledgling kingdom. My actions were not mere conquests. They were deliberate steps toward building a state based on fairness, prosperity, and independence. The forts were the backbone of my strategy. Each one was both a military bastion and a symbol of Maratha resilience. Torna, Rajgad, Sinhagad, and Pratapgad. These forts became sanctuaries for my people and staging grounds for my campaigns. My administration within these forts reflected my ideals. Taxes were fair, justice was impartial, and the people were treated with respect. As I expanded my influence, I maintained a strict code of ethics. My men were forbidden from harming civilians or desecrating places of worship. I respected all faiths, knowing that unity among the diverse communities of my land was essential for Swarajya. One of the greatest challenges of my early years came in the form of Afzal Khan, a fearsome general of the Adil Shahi Sultanate. He was sent to crush me, but I knew that open confrontation would lead to disaster. I agreed to meet him at the foothills of Pratapgad, knowing well his treacherous nature. I prepared myself carefully, wearing chainmail beneath my robes and concealing a bog nak, tiger claw, in my hand. As we embraced, Afzal Khan attempted to stab me, but I struck first, fatally wounding him. My forces, hidden in the forests, launched a decisive assault on his army. The victory at Pratapgad was a turning point that cemented my reputation as a cunning and fearless leader. Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor, soon turned his attention to me. His general, Shaista Khan, invaded Pune and occupied my ancestral home, Lal Mahal. I could not let this insult stand. In a daring midnight raid, I and a small band of warriors infiltrated Shaista Khan's camp. Moving stealthily, we struck swiftly, wounding the general and killing many of his men. Though he survived, Shaista Khan retreated in disgrace, a humiliation that resonated throughout the Mughal court. Aurangzeb responded by sending Jai Singh, a Rajput general, to subdue me. After intense battles, I was forced to sign the Treaty of Purandar in 1665, surrendering several forts. But this was not the end, it was a tactical retreat. Aurangzeb summoned me to his court in Agra, intending to humiliate me. But I was not one to bow before tyranny. Placed under house arrest, I devised a daring escape. Feigning illness, I concealed myself and my young son, Sambhaji, in large baskets meant for sweets. The guards, unsuspecting, allowed the baskets to pass, and we slipped away from the heart of Mughal power. Returning to Maharashtra, I was welcomed as a hero. My escape was more than a personal triumph. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit of Swarajya. In 1674, I was crowned Chhatrapati at Raigad, marking the formal establishment of the Maratha Empire. The ceremony was a grand affair, signifying the fulfillment of my vision of Swarajya. I adopted the title of Hindavi Swarajya, emphasizing the indigenous roots of our state and my commitment to its people. My final years were spent strengthening the Maratha Empire and preparing it for the challenges ahead. I built a navy, the first of its kind in India, to protect our coastline from foreign invaders. I continued to fortify my kingdom, constructing over 300 forts that became the backbone of Maratha power. In 1680, I left this mortal world, but I knew my legacy would endure. My son, Sambhaji, and the leaders who followed carried forward the torch of Swarajya, expanding the Maratha Empire to heights I could only dream of. I am Shivaji Maharaj, a servant of my people and a warrior for justice. My life was one of struggle, sacrifice, and unyielding devotion to the dream of a free and prosperous homeland. My story is not just my own. It is the story of my people, who stood with me in the face of overwhelming odds. The forts of Maharashtra still stand as sentinels of our history, and the spirit of Swarajya continues to inspire generations. My life was not easy, but it was worth every battle, every sacrifice. For the land of my birth, for the honor of my people I lived, and for the cause of freedom I would live again.
Yei Bhavani, Yei Sivayi,